Women are labeling men who go their own way as women haters, and condemning us when all we're concerned about is the preservation of our identities and peace. We're essentially calling women's bluff by going their own way. Women will never be in favor of us making our own decisions because they depend on us for survival. If they don't, society collapses, and they lose everything. However, if they did, we would see them for what they are. That is, toddlers acting like grown-ups. You are not automatically a man just because you put on a pair of pants, sweetheart. The only possible explanation for women liking other women and living together and working is that women are allowed to enter the workforce and generate enough wealth to support themselves. You hear a lot about women being fooled into bad life choices, like working, promiscuity, and failing marriages. I wonder at what point women have to consider stopping being fools. Women who want equality need to be aware of what they are asking for. To get the equality of men, they must be treated like men. To be treated like men, they must work alongside men in hard jobs, not office jobs. You see, women were sold the dream of feminism in which they thought they'd be living the life of luxury, wealth, world, travel, luxury clothing, designer handbags and heels, and countless men simping around all of them. What they failed to realize was that this dream came with an expiration date, and that expiration date started as soon as they were close to hitting the wall. When they crossed the wall, the dream ended. It shattered into 1,000 pieces, leaving them wondering why men didn't want to chase them anymore, as these women kept on chasing corporate ladders and ignoring starting a family. At the end of the day, you can't beat nature. Nature has its roles for men and for women. The sooner women realize that, the better their lives will be. Women are now realizing the dream of feminism wasn't really a dream, it was a fantasy. I think women suffered from the delusion that men weren't doing anything strenuous, and that they were given money just for showing up. They fought for the right to be given money just for showing up. Now they are stunned to find out that men were actually working during all that time they weren't at home. I don't feel so for a single one of them who said they were tricked into feminism. They knew full well what they were doing, and they only wanted to have their way the same way a toddler whines and throws a temper tantrum when they don't get their way. Don't ever believe that line of wanting equality is true. They can't even own up to the fact that they chose to live that life, but when they don't take accountability for anything, it's always something or someone else to blame. They drive men away, then wonder where they've gone. I'm sorry, where the good ones have gone. Because men are just supposed to overcome everything, to the point that the women don't know why they are interested. There's just something about them, willingly wanting to dissociate. Is it any wonder people ask what women want? They don't know. Okay, but let's play. Let's say he sticks around. Well, now he's a creep that makes you feel unsafe. And why destroy a man's love, to love those who hate? Well played, you've played yourself, ladies. Lie in the beds you've made. Quit throwing a lifeline to people who refuse to be responsible and accountable. As long as stupid people are propped up and bailed out for their poor choices, they will not learn and stop the bad behavior. No, they will be emboldened to do more of the same and expect fat checks as a reward. Since it's unlikely that women built their houses or founded the businesses or government organizations that the majority of these women work for, there aren't actually any women going their own way. Women can only attempt to forge their own paths once all of the labor has been completed for them and all of the resources are in their possession. They don't like MGTOW since the labor and resources are still controlled by men, which is understandable. They criticize men for going their own way because it prohibits them from having control over the resources. Again, women are hesitant to speak it out loud, since doing so would reveal their inability and demonstrate that they depend on men far more than they realize. Women, like other women, would vanish overnight if women weren't permitted to work in the workforce, as they were in the 20th century, because they would all be looking for husbands to support them. Instead of their intimacy, they would be more concerned with how much money they were spending on their lifestyle. They wouldn't be thinking about being physical at all. Only in the middle to late 20th century did women have access to a lifestyle where women could be romantically involved with other women in public. I believe that as more and more men go their separate ways, accumulating their own riches and living their own lives, women will become more and more destitute or reliant on credit and the government to survive. Because it's a societal norm, women frequently say one thing while really meaning another. They can't seem to approach anything in life directly, thus it's likely part of their biology as well. They aren't as literal as men are, but they are always attempting to enter our thoughts through our back doors. Because we have a variety of goals to pursue in the actual world, men cannot afford to be overly literal. Women, on the other hand, can't afford to be upfront because if something goes wrong, we know what they're up to, where they stand on any particular topic, or their genuine motives are obvious. They don't want us to truly place the responsibility on them because women are physically and emotionally weaker. Women who were more successful at influencing males throughout history pass on their genes to subsequent generations. Men used to experience less agony and suffering when they died in war, at least in the past. However, nowadays, a man who gets divorced and loses his house, children, wife, and sense of purpose is in a far worse situation than a man who dies on the battleground. Women simply want us to accept the bait and fight them in a staged game. Love is our battleground. Projecting vulnerability gives women power because it encourages men to step up, get engaged, and take care of them. However, as women showcase more and more authority, males will go their own way and seek out other motivations for living in addition to defending women. Why should we still be here if women don't require our protection? Women want men to remain by their side, take care of them, and listen to their issues. But they also want men to believe that they are not dependent on them. With the promise of freedom from males, feminism has devastated the majority of Western women. Women need males more than they realize because they are unhappy at work and are turning into crazy, lonesome cat ladies, but they won't confess it as long as it is taboo to do so. In the future decades, as our culture gets more conservative, they will eventually come to recognize it. Then, rather than saying they need males because it's true, women will claim they do because it's fashionable to do so. When ladies scream out for males to assist them, a lot of men will genuinely respond and come to their aid, restoring the supposedly traditional connection. Once they appeal to men to assist them, neo-traditionalism will make a comeback. Then it's likely that many men will respond to their appeals and come to assist them. In exchange, they'll receive conventional relationships, and a new variety of neo-traditionalism will manifest itself. Women will suddenly claim to care about males in this scenario, thereby forcing men back to the negotiating table. Because the men's rights movement aims to reunite men and women in a conventional relationship, there are numerous traditions within it. That is likely another reason why the men's rights movement despises men's movement. It not only educates men about the nature of women, but also informs them that they have no chance of victory. Because they are mostly married and serving as white knights for the women in their lives, males in the men's rights movement sometimes struggle to adequately protect men. Their attention is first dispersed and not concentrated in one spot. But with MGTOW, we speak the truth and are not frightened of what others may say, even if they are liberal lunatics. Because we won't fit neatly into the gynocentrism box that males are meant to fit in, feminists despise us. You may either choose to be a conservative man or a man who acts like a feminist. Feminists only want to give males those two options, since women benefit regardless of what they choose. This is why I feel that modern feminism has lied to women in general. Modern feminism has robbed women of their meaning and purpose, and given them a new purpose that is only making women more and more miserable. You only have to go and see the women around your society or online today to know what I mean. Women are miserable because of feminism. They think they're part of some positive movement that liberates them of their worries when in fact, it only steals their value from them. I was recently reading a study that said women who enter the marriage without a notch count, which is now a rarity, are the least likely to divorce. Women with 10 or more partners are the most likely to divorce. But this only became true in recent years, the study said. This only goes to show that the more women sleep around, the more they're likely to lose any sense of loyalty and future stability when it comes to relationships. On top of that, no man truly wants to be with a woman who has a high body count. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.